At Talladega Super Speedway for the next round of our Nextel Cup Series season. Of course, racing as Kasey Kahne, coming in off a win in yesterday's race at Phoenix, which was our third out of 4 50% races on the year. Our last one will be at Richmond, which will be the next event following this one here today. As far as this race goes, there has been 2 flips in practice already that I had seen, and I wasn't even partaking in practice. I actually saw it on screen within the last 2 to 3 minutes. We had 2 flips within about 5 seconds of each other, one in turns 1 and 2 and one in 3 and 4. Tony Stewart just flipped, and I wish I had it on camera, but obviously I wasn't streaming yet at that time. And it was so quick that I couldn't record it, because otherwise I would have posted it, because it was hilarious. You just had one flip, and then all of a sudden, 5 seconds later, I was like, oh, we got one over. Who is it? Tony Stewart. And then the camera pans to someone else. I don't even know who the second guy was that flipped, because all it showed was the in-car cam. Crazy. Crazy stuff. If that's an indicator for how this race is going to go, look out, ladies and gentlemen. Jackson Robinson, Billy Kramer, thanks for tuning in. Let's get into this one. We got a long race ahead of us. I usually don't do the cup races, let alone 500-mile cup races on work nights, but here we are. Green flag is in the air, and we're underway. Kenny Schrader on the pole as we start this race. No practice, no qualifying, bringing up the rear of the field. Look at Kasey Kahne flying. What is with... Oh, yeah, you know what? I forgot we actually had this at Daytona. I was just passing everybody on the apron. I was able to go down that far on the racetrack, too, because we weren't up to speed yet. Oh, what a start. So much for starting last. Already up to 24th on the first lap. Might get a couple more here before the lap's over with, too. Underneath the 6 of David Reagan. I forgot at Daytona that we had the restart gear in it. We didn't have the restart gear in it for the Busch or the truck race. Well, we didn't have a truck race at Dega yet, but the Busch race, we didn't have that kind of restart gear like we did at Daytona. But in the Cup Series, apparently we do. As long as we keep the car clean, that could be maybe the difference maker if we get into some sort of an accident at some point in time in the race. Hopefully we steer clear of trouble, if there's any in front of us. Do I think I'm going to win? I would like to think so. We did win Daytona, but that was a dogfight at the end of that race. If it's going to be just as difficult trying to hold the pack off in the closing laps, then I don't know. We're going to have our work cut out for us. We haven't won back-to-back races all season either. I've had anywhere between 1 to 3 races between wins all season, so we'll see. 2.2 seconds back, just kind of riding in line right now behind Ricky Rudd in the 88. Snickers Ford. The car feels quick early on. We're already pulling away from everybody behind us. The lead pack, really. Everything's branching out into 2. Kevin Harvick has led every lap so far, the first 2 that have been completed. And it looks like the 29 car is about to lead a 3rd lap as well. Tried to pull out a line in the trial, but didn't have enough run on the 88 of Rudd. 88 car very strong when Dale Jarrett was behind the wheel at Talladega, so I expect that he's going to be pretty quick here. Pass on Michael Waltrip for 21st. Tony Stewart, who flipped in practice, right in front of us. Rudd pulling away slightly. Trying to get to the outside of Tony Stewart. Looking to get down onto the bottom lane before we get into the corner. We're going to be able to do so. Still behind Rudd, following him every step of the way. Inside of Kurt Busch in the 2. Kurt's teammate Ryan Newman just a couple positions ahead. And up to 19th now for Kasey Kahne. Michael Turner, thanks for tuning in. AI are slow on starts and restarts getting up to speed. Yeah, some tracks they aren't, but I've noticed on the super speedways, they're very slow getting up to speed. But like I said, for some reason in the Busch race, I don't remember us having the restart gear in it. Not like that. I might have been able to gain 1 spot on the restart, maybe 2, but we literally jumped half the field on the first lap. Makes it a lot easier on ourselves starting at the back of the pack. It's basically the equivalent if I just would have qualified right in the middle of the pack. Because although we gained 20 positions on the opening lap of the race, we've only gained 4 positions in the last 4 laps since the opening lap. Busch Series, our fuel runs were right around 30 laps, so I would imagine it's going to be similar for the Cup Series race here. Back in the Gen 4 car, we were in the car tomorrow at Phoenix yesterday for our 50% race. Oh, Dave Blaney. I'm struggling to really get to the back bumper of these guys. I would like to bump draft. I haven't been able to. I feel like I get close behind one of the cars in front of me, which pretty much this entire race it's been Ricky Rudd. I just can't quite get to him. Not enough to give him the push that I want to give him. Kenny Schrader back in the lead. Yeah, Schrader started on the pole, but I don't think he led. Big push that time in the middle of the tri-oval on Ricky Rudd. He was a bit loose, but kept his foot in the throttle and kind of steered out of it. Didn't get any positions gained. Still following Dave Blaney in the 22. Blaney on the inside of Newman. Big run coming again for Casey Kane, and he'll give Rudd another push on the back straightaway, try to force him into line. I'd like to follow Ricky Rudd this whole race, honestly. He is quick. Lead the way, Ricky. I got to get back by Dave Blaney to try to follow him. Well, Rudd might get crossed over. I'll go with Ricky. We've been working well with him so far. Give him a push. Nah, he just got passed. I guess I just got to take it every man for themselves. Although I just got blocked off into turn 1, so that didn't really work out very well either. Mr. Cody, thanks for... No, the game was not made in the 1990s. Is that the Cody Collingwood in the chat? Yeah, I figured. And Ricky's still pulling away. Battle for the lead up on the top right-hand corner of the straight on the track map. It's basically been between Harvick and Schrader the whole time. First and second again between the two of them. I got a lift. I had to back out of that. That was going to be nasty. I was pushing pretty deep into the corner as it was. I was actually trying to make a pass on him. I wasn't trying to bump draft him, and then he threw the block on me, and I actually lifted later than I probably should have, but it worked out. Got him on the next straightaway. Inside of Ricky Rudd, but he was getting a good pull off the 00 of David Rudiman. Now we're going to get the pull off Rudiman now that he's on the bottom, and Ryan Newman went with us too, so that also helps. We'll clear Rudd off turn 2. Up to 16th already. It's definitely not a next-gen console. I go back to the old PS2 days. Crazy thing with the graphics is that they're better on your guys' end than what they are for mine. I brighten OBS up whenever I do these older video game streams, so that way it looks brighter and more clear for you guys watching on YouTube than what it is for me looking off of my TV. The numbers on the icons can be a little fuzzy sometimes. Especially those triple-digit numbers in the Busch and the Truck Series with the fantasy drivers. There'll be a triple-digit number on that top right-hand corner of the screen with the track map, and I can't tell who it is half the time. Gonna win this week? If you're talking about Ryan Blaney, he's got a chance. I expect Penske to be pretty fast at Atlanta again. Who am I picking? Oh, I didn't even... realize that comment there. Yeah, I mean, well, I guess I was about to talk about it anyway, but honestly, I think I gotta go back with the pick of Joey Logano again. I mean, he looked like he had the fastest car of the three Penske's. They were all fairly equal in the sense that they could control a line a lot easier than pretty much anybody else in the field, even some of the other Fords. They were second in line to be the push car. It didn't really matter who the leader was as long as there was a Penske car, either first or second in line, they were able to charge forward. And at least at Atlanta last year, they did dominate the race and they did win. They finished first and second at all three stages, including obviously the race win at the end. And Logano won that race, and he's won at Atlanta twice, so I'd be more confident picking Logano than Blaney again. But Blaney finished second in both races there last year, and Joey wrecked out of the first one, so it's one of those things where either Joey's going to end up finishing top three or he's going to wreck out. It's basically been Joey Logano in a nutshell in these super speedways with the next-gen car. Ryan Blaney's probably the more likely of the two to get the consistent finish. And obviously Austin Cindric's going to be the underdog again as far as that three-headed monster at Penske. He was the one that lasted the longest up at the front of the field, obviously missing that first wreck. First big one with 15 to go in the 500. I'd probably hold off until qualifying Saturday morning. Obviously, to give you guys who exactly I think is going to win. Because I think whoever qualifies higher of the Penske Fords is probably going to be the strongest when leading. Seems to be that way with the super speedways anyway. And Cindric and Logano were those two at Daytona, and I'd imagine that would probably end up being the case again at Atlanta. Marley Good, thanks for tuning in. Taking Logano, he took me off. Yeah, well, I don't blame you there. It's Joey for you. He's going to look like a hero sometimes, and other times it's going to be a zero. Put him in the best car, and he still finds a way not to win. And he's talented enough. You put him in a car that isn't the best, and I mean, how many times last year he didn't have the best car, and he won 4 races last year? The only one of those races he had the car to beat was Atlanta, which, again, coincidentally, we're going to this weekend. But the other 3 races, he didn't have anywhere near, really top 3 or top 5 car, but was able to get the win. A lot of that, obviously, is a combination of both him and Paul Wolfe. You got a championship-winning crew chief with another driver that wasn't Joey Logano. Then you got a 2-time, at the time, Cup Series champion, now 3-time Cup champion, Joey Logano. The two of them together, it's bread and butter. Be patient, he would have won the race. Oh, yeah, for sure. Picking Chase Elliott to win at Atlanta. He's won at Atlanta before, too. I will say the Hendrick cars, I honestly thought Chase Elliott looked like he had the fastest of the 4 Hendrick cars this weekend. Bowman was up towards the front there for quite a bit late in the second stage, but he wasn't able to pull the line on the bottom, which, again, we really didn't see outside of a Penske Ford leading the pack to be able to do something like that. But even Chase Elliott, I felt like when he was pushing other cars, like he pushed Bubba Wallace to the lead at one point. He might have been working with Logano there for a little bit too, which some of that could have been Logano pulling him. But honestly, he was up towards the front more than any other Hendrick car from start to finish of the race. Byron had led laps. I think he was a close second as far as speed. Oh boy. If Rudiman's going for it, he was clipping the apron going into the corner. I wanted to give him room. Just kind of scared he was going to clip me there. Almost pulled an Amber Bulkin. That's exactly how she spun, too. That ARCA race, she clipped the apron and washed up wide. I'm not racing in first person, so I was able to see that and get out of the way. Had I been in the in-car cam, I probably would have made contact with him. I'm going to have to block him off. He keeps getting me in the corners. We're starting to lose this lead pack. I cannot draw up to this 0-1 of Mark Martin. We are past halfway through the fuel run. We're going to have to pit for the first time in about 12 laps or so. Larson hasn't been any good at super speedways, to say the least. I will say, I mean, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think he's been better in the next-gen car, at least in the case of making it to the end of the race and being up towards the front. Because we've seen him be in that situation more with the next-gen than what we saw in the entirety of his career in the Gen 6. I think he will win one of these races at some point, but it might have to be like a William Byron situation like this here where, you know, he's quick, he's in the top 5, he's probably not going to be the fastest. He's not the greatest with super speedway racing, nor has the luck. So luck is definitely going to end up having to turn on his side, miss an incident. Oh boy. A little aggressive with that bump drafting on Mark Martin. Speaking of having a wreck, I almost caused one right there. That's the first I was able to really like lock bumpers all the way down a straightaway with somebody. How quickly we caught the lead pack just because of that. Drew away from the few cars we were with before that. There we go. Pull out a line, try to make the pass on Martin. Oh boy. Oh boy. And JJ Yaley's blocking me. I was going to try to cram it up the middle 3 wide. That probably wasn't going to work. That would have been the definition of what not to do. Not Matt DiBenedetto, thanks for tuning in. Briscoe got a big penalty. Yeah, I saw that, like, the post I had seen was updated like 7 minutes before I started the stream. Usually stuff that happens that close, as far as news-wise, I definitely don't see that. But I just happened to be on my phone at that time. Yeah, L2 penalty, 100 points, I think. Chase Briscoe's going to get docked, so he's actually in the negative right now then, after the first race of the season. Which already puts him in a must-win situation more than likely, because anytime we've seen these kind of penalties be handed out since the next gen debuted, and they changed a lot of the rule book with being harsher when it comes to penalties, yeah, that really hurt him. Finished 4th on the Daytona 500. He didn't get any points in the duel because he had pulled off the track early. He qualified on the pole for the 500, so he wasn't racing for points at all there. But yeah, he had a great day, and then that's basically a race now. Yeah, he's going to have to go out and win a race, which I think he can do in that equipment, obviously. Although you got to also consider that Martin Truex Jr. didn't even win in that car last year, so maybe it's not as much of a guarantee as what I think and probably most other people would think. Elliott had Atlanta predict that Logano was going to wreck out. By the way, the lap times here today, ridiculously quick. We just ran a 45.518. That's like a Daytona time. And this track is a 2.66 mile. Daytona's 2.5. Honestly, that's extremely fast. We're carrying about 200 miles an hour all the way around this track. I'm still kind of struggling to keep up with cars in front of me at times. We're holding her wide open. We really can't do much else. Minus 67 points for Briscoe total. That's probably good. I mean, so yeah, he's going to be in the negative no matter what happens in the next race because the max amount of points you could score is 61. Briscoe got a penalty while... Yeah, I literally saw that minutes before I started the stream. So this, I mean, this is like within the last half hour. L2 penalty. First race of the season. Kind of reminds me of when Brad Keselowski had his L2 penalty last year. Wasn't that after Daytona also? With the hubs? Or maybe they warned him at Daytona and then he ended up getting caught again like a couple races later or something. Yeah, he's going to be in the negative for at least a couple races, depending on how he runs at Atlanta. It might be 3 races before he gets back into the positive. It's the equivalent of going all in on Double Jeopardy, and and you end up missing. You're like in the hole. Well, one thing they can't take away from him is the fact that he qualified on the pole for the Daytona 500. So there's an accolade for his career that won't go away, I guess. Was it worth it? Probably not. I would imagine he was docked playoff points too. I didn't actually click on the article to read into it exactly. All I saw was that he had the penalty, and it was an L2, and I think it was 100 points, which would have been owner and driver standings. But as far as the financials go, like, I don't know how much he was fined, crew chief and all that. I don't know how all the fines came out. Definitely looking at 6 figures, I would imagine. Pretty steep one. The Old Testament of, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, but at the same time, don't get caught. Because if you get caught, you're going to get the book thrown at you. How can NASCAR keep cars on the ground at super speedways? We were talking about this yesterday for quite a bit during the course of the stream, so I'll just kind of reiterate quickly. For my personal belief, in the instance of what happened with Priest, for instance, this weekend where he ran over a left front tire, I really don't know what else he could do in that aspect to keep cars on the ground. Because you'd have to add like some sort of like extra roll bar or cage, something of that nature around the area of the foam on the driver's side door, maybe even the passenger door as well. Excuse me, as well. But I don't really know how much more you can put there that would affect like aerodynamics of the car. Obviously, it'd make them even heavier too. So I really don't know if that's an option. It's just a weird crush zone on this car. It still has a relatively stiff chassis, but obviously the front rear clips have been adjusted and softened from where they once were when this car debuted. But it's still relatively stiff, especially compared to more recent cars that NASCAR's used in the Cup Series in the past. 10 playoff points and $100,000. Yeah, the playoff points is going to be big too. I mean, every time we've seen a driver get some sort of a penalty like this, even if they end up winning a race. I mean, look at Denny Hamlin last year. Missing those 10 points in the playoffs was huge for him. I mean, that was very nearly the difference in him making the championship 4 and not making the championship 4. That's really going to hurt you. Because you're basically having to start from behind no matter... I mean, he's going to have to get 3 wins just to get into the positive on the playoff point side of things. I highly doubt Briscoe's going to win 3 races this year. I mean, I could see that happening just because of the equipment he's in, but at the same time, again, Truex didn't even win in that car last year. We are completely losing this pack, by the way. We are over 2 seconds back now. We were within a second of the lead not that long ago. Once Paul Menard got to the front of the field, we're setting sail. Not going to have to hold on for very much longer, though. We're getting into green flag stops shortly. Just hit a quarter of a tank of gas left at this point in the run. We're at lap 30, so I guess we can go a little bit beyond 30 laps on a full fuel run. Haven't had any cautions yet. Yeah, we're talking about the Briscoe news. Negative 20 wind chills tomorrow here. Bundle up. Stay warm. Stay inside. Kyle Busch wins at Atlanta, mark it down. I mean, drafting tracks, he's definitely in it. I was talking about Chase Elliott having the best Hendrick car in the 500. I think Kyle Busch had one of the best Chevys in the 500 too. I mean, that entire last stage, he was pretty much in the top 5 the entire time until he got caught up in that wreck. I didn't even know he was in the wreck when it first happened. Honestly, the paint scheme from the aerial shot, I don't know if that was like the Goodyear blimp cam or whatever it was, but the first aerial shot of that lap 15 crash that Stenhouse and Logano started on the back straightaway, I thought it was Daniel Suarez that slid to the inside. And I might have even called it as Suarez on the broadcast on the live commentary stream too. And then once they had like a closer look at it, I was like, oh, that was Kyle Busch that spun down there. And not Daniel Suarez. But yeah, up until that point, though, he had a good 45-lap stretch or so where he was in the top 5. And that was even through the cycling and pit stops under that would have been the caution right before that lap 15 yellow, right at the edge of the fuel window with about 30 laps to go. Kept thinking it was Suarez, too. Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Yeah, it looked like the Camping World colors from the aerial shot. Oh, we got trouble. Somebody just hit the wall right in the middle of the corner. We didn't get a caution. I saw the streamline of smoke. Was that? It might have been Paul Menard. He's definitely not leading anymore. Scott Riggs is out in front. Now I'm over 3 seconds off the lead. I have lost a ton of time. I'm going to pit this lap, by the way. I don't want to run out of gas. Several of the cars already on pit road. And we'll be coming next. Going to have to take tires, unfortunately. Kind of same thing with Daytona. You would think if we had the freshly paved Talladega, then we wouldn't have that problem, but for some reason it gave us old Talladega on this game, even though it was repaved the year before. It was repaved in 2006. This game came out in 2007, and still the old Dega. Yeah, that was Paul Menard that hit the wall. Whoa, whoa, Kyle Busch. Oh, we missed the pits because of that. Oh, my goodness. I don't know if I'm going to have enough fuel to make it back around. Oh, that is a costly issue. Luckily, we're only 34 laps in. I didn't leave that lap either. Somebody else stayed out. Joe Nemechek, I think, led that lap. Oh, Kyle. I outbraked him going into the pits. Got to his outside from a handful of car lengths back. I was going to make it onto pit road fine. He didn't give us room. What is he doing? I really hope I have enough gas to make it back around. I'm already going to lose a ton of time. That was such a slow slide. It's so weird that the AI took over as if I hit pit road and got underneath the commitment line at first, and then it booted me out at the last second. Oh, caution, abort, abort. Yellow flag is out. Oh my gosh, what a last minute we just had. Oh, David Rudiman. Golly. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh. Oh, what a terrible crash. We had 3 cars flipping in the same Oh, my goodness, dude. It was nose to nose. Rudiman upside down, getting nosed by the 18 at 200 miles an hour. We have fatality in that crash. I don't think everybody made it out alive. I don't know if this caution helps or hurts us. It depends on how many cars Joe Nemechek lapped. Because he was still out on the racetrack. I'll tell you what, that was a crazy last minute between Busch leaving me out of the pits and then having to abort at the last second. Rudiman's in. How's he even still running? The heck? He should be dead. He should have been ejected from the car. That's he shouldn't even be alive anymore. And Jeff Gordon's back here too. Yeah, 37th. Go figure. Got all the way up to 12th. Now we're at the back. Get some of them back on the restart. There's Ricky Rudd back here again, too. Oh, I almost turned myself. I moved up a little early. Yeah, David Reagan. Oh, there we... Oh, I hit it. I think the tires are up. Look at the damage it did to my nose. My gosh. That actually gave me some nose damage hitting that debris. Casey Mears. We're going to have a lot of debris cautions from that wreck. Rudiman was the only car that pitted. We had a ton of cars that were involved. That wasn't just the big one. That was the massive one. In turns 3 and 4. I've never seen that ugly of a crash. In this game, for sure, in the short time we played NASCAR 08, but it's been a while on these EA games where we've seen like 3 or 4 cars flip in the same wreck. I might be able to get all the way to the lead if we get like 5 restarts in a row. They keep slowing up like that. This might actually work better for us. Who would have thought? We just needed to stay green long enough for us to get to turn 1 and then get the caution. So I can get the spots. And I also got to hope I don't run over any debris. I don't want to be behind Casey Mears, I'll tell you that much. Give me room, Casey. Up to 23rd. We're definitely going to catch more cautions. Couple of them back-to-back there. Somebody slow on the restart. Somebody blew an engine as we were getting to speed behind us. Might make it a whole lap. Our teammate Scott Riggs is leading now. Been a crazy race early yesterday. I was okay. Now there's debris again. I'm getting out of the way. I don't know if it's somebody in front of us, somebody behind us. I got lucky. I hit it with the nose the first time I hit the debris. Mark Martin. It was just behind us. 3 yellows now. Well, well, well. Off of work, staying indoors tomorrow. It's a good call. I don't think it's supposed to get that cold where I live. If it is, that's news to me. I didn't think it was going to be like that. Temperature-wise. What a crazy race. We're going to be saving a lot of gas with all these cautions, too. Had 2 of them since we pitted. All right, how many more spots are we going to get? Having to go to the outside, we're probably not going to get as many. Versus if we took the bottom. Yeah, I only got 2 spots that time. Side drafted with Michael Waltrip as we get to speed down the back straightaway. Clear on Waltrip, will throw a block. Back to the top in front of Dave Blaney, another yellow. 4 cautions here at Talladega today. I think we only had like 5 yellows in the Busch race here. We're going to have more than that in the first half of this race. NASCAR 21 ignition moment. I don't even remember that NASCAR 21 ignition. Unless you had the speed glitch, I guess. Crazy thing is there wasn't any speed glitch. It looked like NASCAR's version of fireworks. Instead of shooting off fireworks, it was just cars exploding in the air, debris everywhere. Debris everywhere, cars everywhere. Luckily, it was in the middle of the corner and not on the front stretch where all that debris could have been in the grandstands. We might have had a car go up over the catch fence or something. That was gnarly. Oh, they slowed up. I was in the terrible line for that. I had to check up to keep from running into the back of Ryan Newman. Lost a couple of the spots we gained initially on the restart. I think we only netted 1 spot there that time. Well, I was optimistic about getting to the lead with all these restarts, and that's 2 of them in a row. I feel like I haven't capitalized to the fullest of my ability. Already to lap 50. Looks like we're going to get 1 lap in since the restart this time. Get by Ryan Newman for 19th, 2.5 seconds off the lead. Obviously, we're still not in the top dozen like we were. Xfinity and truck race at Atlanta. I haven't looked at the entry list to see what Cup regulars might be running the race, so I really don't want to say anything for those two because I'm not entirely sure who might all be in the field. I mean, as far as the Xfinity race goes, I think you got to look at the 2 RCR cars. I mean, they're just as dominant on the super speedways as Penske is in the Cup Series. And obviously, Jesse Love did capitalize and end up getting the win at Daytona for the Xfinity Series. Got sidetracked there. Inside Uranus, welcome to the stream, and thank you for the $5 super chat. Generous. I don't know if you got back with me on the NASCAR tickets for the Fantasy League from last year or not, but I did give you a message. I haven't checked my Instagram since I sent the post, so apologize if you did get back with me. Do I like the CW broadcast? The only thing I don't like about it is how muffled the mic sounds. I don't like how muffled, like, each of the, it doesn't matter whether it's like a pit road interview or what it is. It seems like all the mics are muffled for some reason. Like, there's a staticky kind of feel to it. That part of it I don't like. The production outside of that, outside of audio, I think it looks phenomenal. I love the broadcast booth. I think Parker Kligerman and Jamie McMurray together, they have a great chemistry. And I mentioned that during the course of the broadcast, the very little bit that obviously we have listened to with the live commentary stream, because I'm not listening to it from start to finish. But no, they go hand in hand with each other. McMurray did a great job when they had that rotating booth in Fox right after Darrell Waltrip retired. I thought he was one of the best drivers they brought in there. I thought him and Kurt Busch probably did the best job of any. So I was a little upset that Fox didn't utilize Jamie McMurray maybe more with the booth. So I'm glad he's getting his chance with the CW. And I look forward to hearing him more. It's not my actual birthday, no. I don't know why he said happy birthday exactly. My birthday's in August. It's about my half birthday. A little bit past my half birthday. Yeah, that's Austin Hill's home track at Atlanta, too. So, give me RCR, give me Penske. Clint Boyer leading at Dega. So we have 3 debris yellows. I'm surprised we didn't have more. It's given us 4 cautions total. We might still get debris yellows. It's just going to be a while before the next one. Oh boy, that was a terrible idea. That was a very late bump draft on Reed Sorensen. How did they not wreck, by the way? He was sideways, clipped the 14. It's like when he made contact and just straightened him out. Now we've got the 14 of Sterling Marlin right in front of us. So he gets blocked by Sorensen going into 1. Kind of a half block, and then he stayed wide. Now he's blocking him again. What track I want to see that I haven't? I don't know. By the way, with the Coda deal, not this weekend, but the following weekend, I'm adjusting my travel plans to Texas a little bit. And I think I'm going to use my week of vacation at once this year. And I think I'm going to take a road excursion to Dega and Texas. They're back-to-back weekends, and I think I'm going to take like that week off in between. And then I'll have, trying to think, I'll still have 2 more days of vacation on the back burner after the Texas race. So, and I'll probably only end up using 1 of those. And then I'll still have another vacation day for later in the year. But I'll end up using 4 of the 5. I think that's what I'm going to do instead of going to COTA here in a couple weeks. Because I was kind of thinking about that. The main reason I was wanting to get down there is just because I know some people that live down in Texas, and I was going to visit them because I've seen them when they visited back here the last couple times, but I haven't visited down there in a few years. And they actually just moved to a different house within the last year, so I haven't seen that place yet. They live down in Houston, but I think I'm going to visit them on the way to like Dallas, from basically go from Talladega to Houston after the Cup race that Sunday. Not immediately after. I would stay in a hotel in Dega and then take the drive the next day. It's about 10 hours for me to get to Dega. I've made that drive all 4 times I've been to Dega already. So I'm thinking that that's what I'm going to end up doing. And then I'll knock out 2 of the 6 races I'm going to this season in back-to-back weeks then. And then Michigan and Indianapolis, because those are the 2 closest to me. So I'll definitely still be living in Ohio at the time of the Brickyard. So then figure out the other 2 races I'm going to. Well, Bristol would definitely be one. I definitely would like to go back to Bristol again. So that leaves 1 date open. So if you're asking me about that 1 date, I don't know that I haven't gone to yet. I really want to make it back to Phoenix again. Just because I don't think the championship's going to be there anymore after this year. And I have a hunch on that. And I guess I'll know later in the season when they announce next year's schedule, which will probably be right before the playoffs again, if that would be the case or not. But I have a very good feeling they're going to move Phoenix off the championship finale. And I don't think I want to go back to Phoenix if it's not the championship finale. So I really don't know. That's 6 races up in the air. It's definitely more than likely going to be a new track. Mexico would be cool, but I don't think I could pull that off financially. I mean, I could get the ticket, but I'd have to get a visa. Big catch up in this pack. All of a sudden. Things getting testy. Made a pass on Marlin. Kyle Busch rocketed underneath both of us. I think David Gillen, that 38 car, is off the pace. And I think that's what was slowing everything up. It allowed for us to catch back up to the pack. Surprised Dale Jr. hasn't led yet. Yeah, considering it's Talladega with DEI, I'm surprised too. Pass on Hamlin for 15th. Highest we've been in the running order this whole race is 12th through 61 laps. We haven't even cracked the top 10 yet. And here's Kyle Busch, obviously. Right around us. He just passed us. He was the reason we lost our track position because I missed the pits when I wanted to pit. Got a couple other slow cars running back-to-back right now at the tail end of the field, too. Go to Michigan? I mean, you could. I'll already be there. I'd highly recommend staying in Detroit somewhere. That'd probably be the best bet for you. They got some nice hotels up there. Got Bristol. Got options. I know with you living out west, though, I don't know, like, where to fly in Bristol-wise. I mean, I'm sure they might have an airport there, but it can't be big. I mean, Bristol's relatively small. I think population is only like 50 or 60,000. It's very small. And it's not like there's a major metropolitan area like near it. It's literally just that. Knoxville's like 3 hours away. I think Nashville might be 3 hours away too. I mean, I guess you could fly in there and then just like rent a car and go back the next day. But that's going to cost you more. When am I moving this year? I'm planning on after the season. Because it's going to be tough trying to do that with streaming the races every weekend. And I think the best thing for me would be to do it as soon as the season's done. And then it gives me a couple months to settle in, obviously, before the next NASCAR season starts. So I'm really looking at November next year. Just walk the 3-hour drive. Wonder how long that would be walking. Hey, I mean, if they did it back in the 1600s, I guess you can do it now. Granted, they kind of went by a horse, though, too. They didn't really walk that. They just basically beat their horses to death. Let them do the work. Poor ponies. I mean, there might be something Bristol-wise. You'd have to look into it. I've never obviously flown to Bristol. I don't remember there being an airport anywhere around there, though. At least the ways that I've traveled in there from. Which would have been coming from Virginia, and geez, what highway is that? Well, 77 took me to Virginia. I can't, whoa, 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 whoa! Oh, we got a caution. I think David Gillen stacked everybody. Oh, they're flipping again. They're flipping again. It's our second big one. How did we make it out of that? I'm going to have to go to the back for being involved in the incident, but I don't have a lot of damage, thankfully. Oh, my gosh. Who hit hard head-on into the wall? Oh, my goodness. There were the flips. J.J. Yaley again. That's twice for him. Oh my gosh, we had 2 cars flipping in this wreck. We had 3 to 4 cars flipping in the first wreck. That was... I moved my line because they checked up and I couldn't get on the brakes in time. That's why I moved. Somebody still... Oh no, not Newman. Oh, Newman again. They want me to pit. Everybody else is pitting. We'll see if... Yeah, they're all pitting, so I guess I'll stay on the same strategy. I don't even know if we were halfway through that fuel run, honestly. Might have been exactly halfway. Kind of didn't want to pick because we're probably going to get quite a few debris cautions. I'm going to go fuel only. Try to gain some track position. Oh, I can't. Oh, shoot. I completely forgot. I can't even take fuel or tires. Never mind. I can't do any of that. So we might actually come out with the lead, but... Now we're going to have to pit before everybody else. We'll probably get debris cautions. Unless they repair their damage on pit road, which they should do, but I don't think they will. Hamlin's about to call me out of the... He was involved there. Oh, man. How do we still not get to the lead? I was hoping to at least get some bonus points out of that. That didn't even happen. Lap 70, green flag back in the air. David Rudiman is the leader. He should be dead. As Winvow would say, he should be deceased. He should not be leading the race. Jamie McMurray and David Gillen are a lap down. Got the second on the restart. We have older tires. This might not end very well for us. Oh, boy. Man, they slow down so much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They shouldn't even be on the racetrack. Oh my gosh. Not David Rudiman again. Like, I was boxed in. I'm not going 140 miles an hour at Talladega to try to check up. They didn't wreck as badly that time. What is this race? Rudiman was boxed in. Jimmy was underneath me, so I couldn't get down to the bottom. Montoya got a piece of that. Oh, took a couple hits. Truex, Elliott Sadler. To be honest, David Rudiman should have been murdered already. There's no way he should have made it out of that first wreck. Cautions, breeding cautions here at Talladega are 6th yellow. Of the Aaron's 499. It's been kind of a crapshoot here this first half of the race.
Nobody else decided to come in.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. 39th. Long line of cars ahead of us. Johnson is in the lead. He must have just got the lead from Rudiman then, right when they got back to racing. I might be able to drive down here for the entire corner if the 26 and the 38 hold everybody up again. I just cleared Kenseth. It's committed. No out of bounds in this game, so I'm taking advantage of it. They want to check up like that. Now we just got to dodge cars while they're slowing everybody up. Easier said than done. Who's leading the race? Which? Oh, we got another yellow. Are they wrecking? It's probably debris. Our 7th yellow. Our 4th for debris. Denny Hamlin. Looks like I'll be on Actions Detrimental this week. Not as a guest. I see my crew chief wants me to pit again. Well, now I think I have to because I haven't taken fuel in a minute. Yeah, I gotta have to take it now. I'll tell you what, I don't know if I'll ever get to the lead the way this race is going. Okay, now we can take fuel, we can take tires. It's only our 2nd set of tires, so we still have 3 sets left the rest of the race. Should be plenty with as many cautions as we're getting. I don't think we're far from the last yellow. I've led at least 15 laps in every race this season, and I haven't led yet today, so that could be in jeopardy, especially going to the tail again. Just got to dodge cars. 26 and the 38 are going to be a nuisance the rest of this race. They're going to be slowing everybody down a ton. Yeah, I was the only guy down there. Thank you very much. Maybe Tony Stewart, he's behind us still. And we got another... I didn't even get to the start-finish line yet. We got another... Oh, my God! Poor Kenny. Oh, my God, they killed Kenny. I killed Kenny. The AI killed Kenny. Under caution. I think it's the right front fender off Truex. Jeff Burton looks like his hood's about to fall off. I would have liked to have at least gotten a few spots before that caution came out. Happened so quickly. Try this again. I probably should have topped off on fuel while I was down there. Oh well. I mean, I didn't even get to the start-finish line. I couldn't have put that much more fuel in it. Already have more fuel in it than everybody else with when we pitted. And we got another one. Oh my gosh. Oh, he saved it that time. Oh, the debris was on the bottom. I missed it, luckily. What a race. Look at Kyle Busch wheeling that thing on the outside. Soaring like a bald eagle. I don't know how much we're burning under caution, but just in case, I'm just going to pit anyway. I'm not going to take tires, obviously, but I don't think we would have burned any, but it's more just in case I burned more fuel under caution than what I was thinking. To repair a little bit of damage if we still have any, too. What a wild race. 9 cautions here at Talladega. I don't even think we're halfway. I don't know what lap we're on.
Be careful and stay out of trouble.
If I'll be careful, but I don't know if I can stay out of trouble. Yeah, we're not even halfway. Good grief. 9 cautions, lap 86, Talladega. Still got over 100 laps left. Casey Mears' car is still destroyed. We gotta dodge him. McMurray and Sadler are gonna be slowing this whole line of cars up. Every restart. Got up to 31st. I got to block everything. So that way I have all the room in the world to try to get around these guys when we catch them. Getting the speed. Whoa, we got some cars pitting this time. What? Who's pitting? Well, one car pitted. Whoa! I was looking at who pitted and I almost ran into the back of Kenseth. Look out, people. Oh, please don't go to the bottom. I've about turned myself. I was trying to abort and I overreacted. Get me down to the bottom, Mikey. Give me room, Mikey. Oh! Got knocked down there by Ricky Rudd. Look out, look out. Everybody hold your damn line. See these hash marks on the racetrack? Stay within them. I still think they're up there on the outside yet. Oh yeah, they're definitely up there. I'm checking. I had to check up. I knew I had to go low and miss it. Gosh. They're right there. They're right on the outside. Go, 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 go. Go. Busch is pulling out. I'll go with you. I will go with you, sir. Oh, we got through him the first time. Jeez Louise. Every restart's going to be like that from here on out. Well, we're up to 21st. Got more fuel in the car than everybody else. 100 laps to go here at Talladega. Scott Riggs is leading. He's led a lot of laps during these cautions. Got Kenny Schrader. How'd he get through that? He restarted back by me. We're going to split him. Oh! Good save. Good save by Newman. I'll tell you what, if I'm anybody in the field, I wouldn't want to be by me right now. I don't know how anybody would want to work with me the way I've driven these last 20 laps or so. Green flag laps. Well, we're up to 20th. Brian Vickers leads, Juan Pablo Montoya second, Jimmy Johnson third, John Wood is in fourth, David Stremme fifth. We got Scott Riggs sixth, Elliott Sadler seventh, Sterling Marlin eighth, Dale Jarrett ninth, and Clint Boyer 10th. What a top 10. An all-star group of drivers up there. Oh my gosh. Just to add to the weirdness of this race. Yeah, we're 8.3 seconds back. It definitely, I mean, that spaced the field out quite a bit. Jacked everybody up. Wonder how soon we'll catch McMurray and Sadler throughout the race. Wonder if it's going to be an every 10 laps deal like it was with, what was that at Texas that was slow? Paul Menard, I think. Yeah, Menard was really slow at Texas. We were catching him every 10 laps. 9 to 10. Obviously, this is a bigger track, so it might be a little longer. Bump draft to the back of the 21 is Schrader. Work together to get by Kyle Busch in the 5. Mark, oh gosh. You can't push into the corner like that. No contact with Busch. My car shoved, his got loose. Everything's all right. We all made it through. Try to get by the damaged car of Martin if we can. Schrader's got a quick car. I mean, he qualified on the pole for a reason, so I would imagine this Wood Brothers 21 is pretty sporty. Probably a good car to follow for us. Up to 19th. And just over 9 seconds off the race leader, Scott Riggs. Going to be halfway home in 2 laps. We're kind of on our own strategy. Pitting a little bit after everybody else for fuel and tires. I don't know if that's going to be for better or for worse. We might end up getting back on the same strategy at some point. I wouldn't be shocked. I said, I think it's far from the last caution. We've had 9 yellows in the first half of the race. I knew when I saw 2 cars flipping in practice. And I wasn't even in practice. I just saw it on the loading screen. Or the main menu screen, I should say. Yeah, good luck. I've lost count of how many cars have flipped in this race. Kenny Schrader getting by Martin Truex Jr. Try to do the same. Truex was one of the cars that was banged up quite a bit. He had one of the debris yellows. Push to Truex. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Sorry. Push to Truex. I'll work with anybody at this point. Just want to keep going forward. If I could stay in the draft of the 1 car and he doesn't pull up to the outside, I should be able to draft by the 21. It's exactly what's going to happen. Give Truex a quick push going into turn 1 also. Slowly but surely moving through the field. Another push. Montoya's in the lead now. Definitely have to keep our eyes peeled for the 38 and the 26 at some point also. There's one of them. Oh, Tony Stewart's slow too? Got by Ruderman. So we have 3 slow cars in this race. Push to the 1 of Truex. Tag team and Jeff Burton in the 31. Still got quite a bit of damage on his singular wireless Chevrolet. Little Debbie still behind us. Should be able to make the pass this time on the back stretch into turn 3, and we did. There's McMurray on the high side. Looking to the bottom on Gilliland. Got by Truex for 16th. And we've made it to lap 100. Oh, don't go down there. Man, Tony Raines is slow too. How many slow cars do we have in this race? We probably have 4 or 5 cars that are slow. I keep losing time to the leaders getting through everybody. You would think they would slow down more. At least these last 2 times I haven't struggled getting by the very slow cars. Made some passes for position up to 16th. 15th place car right in front of us. The bright side with this pit strategy, if we catch a caution in the middle of green flag pit stops again, I wonder how much of an opportunity there would be to stay out and get track position. Well, we should be able to lead at some point on this strategy alone. Well, maybe we could stretch the fuel window out as far as we can, try to catch a timely caution. I mean, we'll have to see. We're definitely going to have to make the strategy up as we go. I mean, we pretty much have to this point anyway, but definitely have to think about that as we're already off strategy as it is. I don't know how far off of it we are. Just have to wait and see when they pit. It's probably not that far off compared to what I'm thinking in my head. Because we've only had a few extra green flag laps. I just don't know how much we burn under the cautions because we have about a 3 caution difference. Halfway out of fuel at lap 102. Just after we pass the start-finish line. Got 86 laps to go in the race yet. And this 500-miler at Talladega. Still losing time to our teammate Scott Riggs, the race leader. Keeping up with J.J. Yaley, obviously, he doesn't have anybody to draft off of in front of him. Nice pull down the back straightaway into turn 3 here for Casey Kane. 22 of Dave Blaney, or 21 rather. Kenny Schrader behind us and still kind of hanging on. Yeah, so Tony Rain turned to the track after having issues earlier. Just past halfway through the fuel runs when my right rear starts to wear out a little bit. Again, still got 3 sets of tires left the rest of the way, so I'm not worried about that. We need to quicken a pit stop up, though, to try to gain track position. Depending on when we make the final stop, that one could be fuel only. I don't think taking right side's only is going to make much of a difference because I feel like the lefts are wearing out within a few laps of the rights. So it'll probably be all or nothing pretty much the entire race. We know they can go a little over half a fuel run before they even drop into the yellow. I mean, everybody around the racetrack is running 45s. At least within the top 10. So it's not like it's just our pace that's quick. It's pretty much everybody. Probably a little less than 15 laps of gas left in the race car. Drafting up to Bobby Labonte in the 43 cars. Bobby's all by himself. Okay, so the leaders are going to be pitting this time. Some of them, at least. We'll see if we actually get to cycle all the way through the green flag stops. We haven't done that yet. The way the cautions have played green flag stop in the race. I'd like for this to cycle all the way through, ideally. Try to get us some bonus points for leading the lap and just to see how this off strategy goes for us. Just realized this. Oh, never mind. Oh, gosh. Just messed myself up. I was clipping the apron. Definitely going to have to dodge the cars down on the bottom of the track ourselves, too. Just got to hope that Jeff Gordon doesn't hit any of them. Please don't, Jeff. Jeff, don't do it. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, I don't know that I would have been able to dodge it. Somebody slowing Gordon up. Look out, look out, look out! Oh my goodness! Up the middle, 3 wide. Tony's still trying to get up to speed. Jeff's pitting. Oh my gosh. We survived. For now. All these other cars coming out of the pits. Caution. Caution's out. We just got to the lead right before the yellow flag came out. And it might be on John Wood. What'd he do? Wait for it. I don't know what happened to John. Oh, that's what happened to him. Why did the replay start so far back? Well, that's our 10th caution of the race. I like how the hood just disintegrated off of him and Scott Riggs. Poor Riggs, he was the leader before all the pit stops started. Quite a few cars a lap down. I'm going to stay out of the pits on this restart, see how this goes. Green flag's back in the air, lap 114. Fox Sports camera angle, yeah, that's what that was. I think I'm clear, yeah, I'm all clear. I wanted to restart from the lead, see what it's like out in front. Haven't led a green flag lap today, but under caution, these are the first laps we've led all race long. We just got to the lead right before the yellow flag waved. Okay, we're on a different pit strategy. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to go. Not very long. I'm expecting some debris yellows following that 3-car crash. Although most of their debris pretty much came off initially. I'll still do my best. This will be the first green flag lap led of the race. Took 115 of them at the start-finish line, but we finally got there. It's a long time coming. And we got a caution immediately after. Yep, that's exactly why I stayed out. I'm going to stay out for one more restart. It's our 11th caution of the day. It's debris off the 09 of Mike Wallace. But I think it was the car that was on the apron that got hit that started the wreck. Over 200 miles per hour. Yep. Ethan, thanks for tuning in, by the way. I don't think I shouted you out in the stream yet. I don't know if we're going to get many more debris yellows from this incident. I might need to consider pitting here. I'd like to get more off strategy. Yeah, we're going to stay out. Going to stay out at least one more. It's all strategy game at this point. It's obviously what it boils down to. Green flag's back in the air. Lap 119 now. Fuel light's not flashing yet, so I mean, I know I can go about another lap once it starts flashing. Whenever it flashes, I'll stay out that lap and then pit the following lap. I know the strategy might seem a little obscure, but considering we hadn't really been in the top 10 the entire day until this pit strategy anyway, I figured we had to try something different. We hadn't even been higher than 12th the whole race up until this set of cautions. So we try to keep the top 10 streak alive. I definitely feel like the field's more competitive at Dega than what they are at Daytona, because even in the Busch race, I kind of struggled a bit. Got 1 lap after the restart. Ideally, if we, we're not, I was going to say, if we can go about 4 or 5 more laps, that'd be awesome, but I don't think we're even going to make it that long. I'm going to stay out this lap, and then we're going to pit at lap 121. And it will be a 4-tire stop. I'd like to think we should be able to stay on the lead lap. If not, we're definitely going to have the pace to be the first car lap down at the very least. And for the sake of pit strategy here, I'd like to be able to stay out. Or I should say pit. I'd pit at the back of the field. I would do opposite, essentially. If they end up pitting, I'm staying out. Vice versa. Well, at least we got to lead some laps today. No matter what happens the rest of the race from here. We got 67 to go this time by. Looks like David Stremmy's going to take over the lead while we hit pit road off of turn 4. Got to get it down to 70 miles an hour without speeding. We did. And we are in. 4-tire stop, full tank of gas here, no adjustments. All right, we need no mistakes on this pit stop. Because we have got to stay on the lead lap. I don't have to, but it'd be nice for strategy. We're going to be by ourselves, so we're definitely not going to make up the speed as the pack either. 18.7 seconds. All right, we got to get up to speed fast. We're just getting off of turn 4. This is going to be close. This is going to be real close. I was hoping this track was big enough. Pitting from the lead, I think, is going to be huge. Had I been in traffic, and that spaced out group of cars a little bit more, I don't know that we would have cycled with a 4-tire stop back to where we were. We're in 30th. There are a lot of cars off the lead lap than what I considered, so that was another reason I'm glad I stayed on the lead lap. But we actually have quite a bit of distance. Ourselves and David Stremme, about 41 seconds, 42 now off the lead. Still trying to climb up to speed here. Now we're not in the draft, so we're probably going to consistently lose time. But yeah, now being on the lead lap, we catch a caution. And we do opposite of the leaders. They pit, we stay out, we get our track position back. If they end up not pitting, then we top off on fuel. We're even better on the fuel side of things than what they are, what we would have been otherwise. I'm actually gaining time. The heck? I was 42 seconds off the lead. Now it's saying 37 and a half. Might be having a speed glitch going on right now, actually. It's actually in my favor, which is rare. I'll take it. Buys us more time. .45.5 lap. That was like real early in the race. I ran that 45.518. It had to have been in the first 10, 20 laps of the race. We're going to be the first ones to the 4 or 5 slow cars we have on the racetrack. Here they come. One car leaving the pits down at the bottom. David Rudiman. He's off strategy too. But he's not for position either. Somebody might drill him if he's getting up to speed in 1 and 2. I don't know if the pack's going to catch him or not. I think we'll be all right. He's going to get off of turn 2 way before the pack catches. Jamie. Should be clear, right? Yep. He floated off the bottom when I was getting closer to him. Go all the way up into the top lane near the wall and try to get away. Got 21 likes on the stream. Our goal for these video game streams is 25 likes, so be sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so yet. Try to get 5 more to get to our goal. We have just over 60 laps left. David Stremme is leading here at Talladega. Again, still a long ways to go. Well, yeah, now we wait. We'll probably get a caution when they all end up cycling off of pit road again. We haven't cycled all the way through a set of green flag pit stops. We could get a yellow before that too, but far from the last one. We were at 12 cautions up to this point in the race. The old NASCAR record would have been 22. By old, that's still technically the current NASCAR record, but if you watched our Las Vegas race a while back, on this game, we had 38 cautions. So that would be our record for the season. Definitely not going to top that. Like that entire race at Vegas, we only had 2 runs, 2 green flag runs the entire race, longer than 10 laps with the 38 yellows. It was a caution fest from the get-go. Honestly, I think the longest green flag run we had was right at the start of the race. It went probably a dozen laps or so, and that was about it. Little did I know and little did the chat know that day that we were going to see that unfold. Be interesting when we go there again next season. Oh, wow. So we got the caution before the pit stop. So this is what I wanted to see, because I want to see if they stay out or if they pit so we can do opposite. And it's going to be debris off of Reed Sorensen's race car, bringing out our 13th caution of the race. Right when things were kind of dulling up there just a little bit because we were by ourselves, then this happens. Truex ran it right over. He's at a terrible line. He might have cut a tire. All right, we're going to have to pay attention here. Are they pitting or are they not pitting? What do we have here? They're pitting, so that means we're staying out. We're going to get the lead again. Number 1. Second time Kasey Kahne has led here today at Talladega. Green flag back in the air, lap 134. So them all pitting during the caution. Might get a lengthy green flag run. Our fuel indicator's still in the green. And they're obviously outside the fuel window right now with 55 laps to go. Go about 33, maybe 34 laps on a full tank of gas. I know we went 33 at one point earlier. 34 is a stretch, but we still have 2 sets of tires left on our end also. For anybody wondering on our tire count. We may only have to pit one more time. All right, well, I don't know how long we're going to be able to hold on to this for, but we're going to do our best. Pack is bearing down on us way more than what they were the last time we had the lead. Probably got some stronger cars up at the front of the field. I say that, we got our best friend Dave Blaney in second. Shades of the Golden Corral Dave Blaney days. Perennial leader throughout the course of a super speedway race. Car Tomorrow era. Guess we're technically in the Car Tomorrow era. We're just still in the Gen 4 car at this 2007 race. We've had Car Tomorrow races throughout the season. Got another slow car in the back straightaway. They look like an actual slow car. Somebody just blew a motor. Have to wait to see who that was. Just got a mirror drive on Blaney, who still remains in second and probably will for a while. Tried not to give the bottom up in the corners. It's going to be hard for them to get the run on the outside unless we get multiple cars up there. David Stremme, who had led quite a few laps in this race, is out as he just blew a motor. All right, so to make it in our fuel window, we got to get down to 33 to 34 laps to go. We restarted with 55 laps left, so this green flag run, we'd have to go at least 21 laps. If we get any cautions between now and then, that will help us. It's going to be tight. It's going to be really, really tight. But I think it's possible, and I think we might have won the lottery with this track position play. Now, the next thing is we have to keep it through the final stop. Things have worked out well for us to this point. Question is, will it continue to work out well? Have we seen the last caution? Probably not. We've had 13 of them in 137 laps out of 188. The math says we've got more yellows coming. We shall see. I think Dale Jr.'s up to third. I think I see that red DEI 8 car. Kind of a two-car tandem away from the rest of the field. Actually, Dave Blaney's a lap down because we have a 7/10 of a second lead, so that might be Junior in second. I didn't even realize that the whole restart. Blaney is actually a lap car and not a lead lap car. Which that benefits us even more. Had to make some blocks that first lap when we were getting up to speed. After that, though, seems perfectly fine for the 9 car. Having the lead and keeping it's not the hard part. It's getting there is the hard part. And, I mean, I did my best on the strategy with what we had, and it's worked. I knew I had to take a shot in the dark with it. It was a gamble. Staying out as long as I could there and having to pit under green, but it might have worked out. We'll have 49 laps left this time by. Again, got to get down to 33 or 34 to go. Any cautions that come out, we could save a little bit of gas that way also, so that could help. It does seem like whoever the leader is, all the lap times are similar. I noticed that early in the race when we were in the middle of the pack and everybody was running 45s. I couldn't get to the lead. Now everybody's running 46 to low 47s. Halfway out of gas with 48 laps to go. Restarted with 55 to go. I don't know exactly how many green flag laps we had before that. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close. So we can't really save draft, obviously leading, but I'm scared that if I lose the lead, I may never get it back. Because that's the way this race is going. I've not made a pass for the lead. We've literally only led the 2 times on strategy. I haven't even made a pass inside the top 10 for position outside of just leapfrogging the field on strategy with the caution play. I'm convinced I don't have a top 10 car. But we must keep our top 10 streak alive. We have not finished outside the top 10 these first 8 races, trying to make it 9. I knew this was going to be a tough task for us, but we've got ourselves in the best position we've been in all race. It was kind of hard to tell the first time I had the lead right around lap 115. Just because it was just so far out from the finish, I couldn't really tell, what the fuel was going to be looking like for the long haul, how much further we could go. Because I don't know how many cautions we had during that fuel run to indicate how much I actually saved. It might have been just enough. It might be not enough. I mean, we'll have to see. Like I said, it's going to be tight. Now, with 49 to go, when I hit halfway out of gas. From that point, if we end up just making it to like 41 laps left, I think we'll be all right to get to our number, which will be 33 to go. 34, a little bit of a risk. We can make it to 42 and get close. Tony Stewart and Tony Raines, the 2 Tonys, off the pace. They're going to be blocking that whole track. One's on the top, one's on the bottom. Made a 3-wide pass to the inside for ourselves in the tri-oval. 45 laps to go here at Talladega. Other 2 slow cars are coming up. It's extended the lead out for Casey Kane by a bit. Jamie McMurray, Todd Gillen are the next 2. It's a lot easier to pass them when we don't have any pack of cars around us. Because those restarts were nuts earlier. Almost a 1-second lead. I feel like I'm saving my tires more during this run with a couple of cautions we've had too. Just now starting to wear out. I feel like I went longer into that, past halfway out of gas before they really started to wear. Still going to have to change tires, I think, on the next stop, obviously, because we might end up going to the end after that. And those lap cars really extended our lead. Even outside of these 2 cars that I can see faintly out of the rear view, just within a second of us. There's 1 more car faintly after that, and then it's a giant gap. Back to about 4th or 5th. Probably 5th. Granted, Dave Blaney was a lap down. He was up there the whole time, so it might be 4th. It's hard to tell. Blaney might be the driver. It looks like Dale Jr., and I don't know who's in front of him still. And whoever it is, maybe they're a lap down. Who knows? Didn't realize Jeff Green blew an engine too. That was only 2 laps after Stremme. A lot of engine detonations in this one today. Anyone dare attempt to go 300 miles an hour at Talladega and Daytona? I don't know what the... Like, what kind of grip you can have and still go full throttle at a Daytona or a Talladega without having to lift. By yourself, specifically. We just had, like, unrestricted engines. What kind of mechanical grip are we talking? 40 to go this time. I'm still not halfway out of gas. I should be in the clear to make it a one more stop. You just got to continue to execute because, again, I don't think we're staying green to the end of the race. No way we're going 55 laps green to the finish with 13 yellows up to that point. Picker's still got to execute too. We haven't really talked about that, but we haven't had to make a green flag stop yet today, so. Well, no, we did make one. But not like this, where we're on the lead lap and in the lead and have to keep the lead. Last time we pitted from the lead under green, I knew I was going to give it up just because I was on a different strategy. And they're going to stay out significantly long after me, so they're definitely going to have a quick enough stop that keeps me on the lead lap again. But there was no real risk of me losing my lap the last time. So I'd imagine that would be the case this time around, too. It's definitely... Oh, wow. Now we got a caution. So this is going to be interesting. We only had 40 laps to go. We're going to restart with probably 36 and 37 left. I still don't think we're in the window. Paul Menard got jacked up by Matt Kenseth. Bringing out our 14th yellow of the race. Yeah. Well. Kenseth's got a lot of damage. I wonder if we're going to get a debris yellow from him. It seemed to be what it was a debris caution. Well, he lost quite a bit of damage. We might not get a debris yellow. Lap 153, green flag back in the air. We're going to go as far as we can. That might have saved us a little bit of extra gas. We were in the good on fuel, but it was still close. Like, we're probably going to be stretching it to the very end. That helps us there. We're still outside the window, so nobody pitted. As we have the restart at Talladega with approximately 36 laps to go. So we had 4 laps under the yellow. Hoping this stays green long enough. I'm assuming Menard blew an engine before Kenseth hit him. He was just riding on the apron in one of the corners. I don't know what end of the track it was. It looked like it might have been turns 3 and 4. But don't quote me on that. Close to our final stop of the race here. 35 to go. Almost in our window. As soon as the fuel light goes flashing, we can go one more lap after that. Maybe 2, but I'm only going to go 1 just for safety, because I do think we're good on fuel. Which is going to work with this track being as big as it is. We have good enough single car pace that we won't lose our lap before everybody else eventually ends up pitting. So if we were to catch a caution, just cycle right back to the lead when we stay out. Got about 1/8 of a tank of fuel left. Our crew chief just indicated us that getting low again. 34 laps left at the line. For those of you that haven't hit the like button, we're 2 likes away from our goal of 25. We're currently at 23. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, wondering what the heck has happened this whole race, we've had 14 cautions. It's been one of those Talladega wreck fests so far, but we have survived. We have gotten Casey Kane to the lead, trying to go 2 for 2 in the super speedways. We won the Daytona 500. We don't have the car, but we have the track position. It's so hard for me to make passes in traffic. We hadn't even gotten into the top 10 the whole day until we took the lead on strategy for the first time at lap 115. Then we took it away for the second time on the second to last restart right around lap 140. Actually, it would have been about 135, I believe, or 134. 55 laps to go. We've led every lap from 55 to go to where we're at right now. This time by the line, we'll be at 32 laps remaining. Any cars flipped a lot. We had, in the first wreck, 3 or 4 of them flipped. The most video game crash you'll ever see. And then there was another wreck where we had 2 cars flipping. There might have been another one where we had at least 2 cars flipping also. There's been a lot of flips. Too many to count. To know for sure. Probably 3 or 4 wrecks that have resulted in flips today. A lot of the cautions have been for debris following the incidences that I had just stated. A lot of big ones. About as much of a breakaway at the front of the field as we could get right now. Definitely think holding on to the lead is going to be easier for us here than what it was at Daytona. I just don't think I'm wearing the tires out as much here as what I am at Daytona. Even though they gave us the older Talladega surface. I wonder if they gave us the old surface, but it races like the new one. The repave, which would have been technically from the year prior. But for some reason this game didn't have it. Fuel light's flashing. We can stay on one more lap. That'll take us to 30 laps to go. Then we'll pit. When we cycle off of pit road, we'll have the start-finish line right there. We'll have 29 laps to go in the final fuel run, which is plenty. Pit crew just has to not have us lose a lap. That's what it's going to boil down to. Ideally, I would like to have a caution before cars start to pit. Because if we get a caution in the middle of green flag stops and haven't cycled back to the lead yet, that's how we can lose the lead here. And maybe not get it back. Just because we haven't made a pass outright for the lead the whole race. Or it stays green. There's still a couple cars within a second of us, so that could cycle in front of us too. I'd like to think we can at least be top 3 or 4 following our pit stop. Gonna try to get the most we can here. Can't speed either. No! Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. The one thing that I myself had to do that could have resulted in us winning was not speed. I cannot believe I did that. We're going to give up 5 seconds with the speeding penalty. I hit the commitment line at 74 miles an hour. We do have an extra set of tires left, by the way. It's our second to last set we could put on. Oh my gosh, this better not cost us our lead lap. Oh my goodness. I had this race nearly in the bag, too. Oh, this is going to be close. There go the slow cars. Come on, baby, get up to speed. 29th. I think we'll still be on the lead lap, even with the speeding penalty. But the problem is if we cycle all the way through, I don't think I'm going to have the lead. I don't think I'm going to be anywhere near it. Look out, everybody. I pretty much stayed wide. Tony could have given me a little bit more room. Hopefully they slow them down more. Gonna need it. Wow, I cannot believe I did that. The other 2 times I didn't do that. Wasn't even a thought. I was coming in too hot. That's still a cleaner pit road entry than that guy in the Xfinity race. It looked like he lost his brakes, but he didn't. I can't remember who did that. It was one of the back marker cars. So we didn't clean anybody out. Granted, there wasn't anybody to clean out. Kind of wish cleaned me out coming into the pits earlier. Very first stop. Sent me into the grass. Dale Jr. back into second. Carter Cawthorn, thanks for tuning in. Live for Cable World Truck Series race? Yes, I will be live for all of this weekend's events at Atlanta from Cup qualifying. It's a triple header Saturday, actually. Got Cup qualifying at 11:30 p.m. or a.m. Excuse me, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Then the truck race at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, and Xfinity race at 5. Then obviously the Cup race will be on Sunday. So 2 Saturdays in a row we'll have some triple header action. There's no Cup practice this weekend, otherwise I would have done that as well. William Wiley, thanks for tuning in. Simulating here. Add more monitors. We need room to watch your hands. Oh, jeez. Got cameras everywhere. Making up time. They slowed the leaders down quite a bit. They meaning those 4 slow cars. Yeah, we'll see how this is going to go. At 25 laps left at the line. Everybody's still got to pit one more time except for us, but we had a speeding penalty when we just made our green flag stop, so if we don't cycle to the lead, that's all my fault. And I don't know how we're going to be able to get back to the lead without any cautions. If we get a caution before they pit, that would be beautiful, because then they would pit, I could stay out, I could leapfrog them, and we got our track position back. We're in the lead. Up to 28. Somebody else just blew a motor, I think. Had to have. Nobody was on pit road. Kyle Busch in the truck race. Yeah, he might be the one to beat. He won that race last year. Dominated, too. The trucks in the Xfinity Series, they don't use their full restrictor plate package that they do at Daytona and Talladega like the Cup Series does. And I think that results in a lot lower grip for them. Therefore, they're not able to run as wide open, resulting in way more spread outness and not as much drafting effect, I guess, if you will. It's kind of similar to the package that the Xfinity Series used at Indianapolis last year. Michigan, too, I think they used it at. It's a low downforce, low horsepower package rather than high downforce like we would usually see Daytona, Talladega. The thing when you get to the truck, especially the Xfinity Series is really only like 11 competitive cars. A lot more tame for that reason. Everybody's on pit road. Well, not everybody, but they're all making their way to pit road. We got Dale Jr. closing in behind us here. From the lead, I think we had a speed glitch. Oh, man, that's not fun. The two Dales, Dale Jr., Dale Jarrett. They're both coming to pit road. Where will Casey Kane cycle? Up to 14th so far. I think there's only one more car in the back straightaway we're going to catch and pass. And that would be our teammate Scott Riggs. So we're up to 13th. The other 12 are on pit road right now. We might still get to the lead. Got one Pablo Montoya. Dale Jarrett towards the front of that line. Dale Jr. should be too, I would imagine. David Ruderman in the 00 just behind us, but I do believe he's a lap down. At least one lap down. Up on the outside. Oh, man, they drafted around us. Scott Riggs, rather. To the lead here at Talladega. Casey Kane up to 4th. We're losing him. He blew by us with David Ruderman. Scott Riggs going to be the leader here at Talladega. Catching Dale Jr., Dale Jarrett. "20 laps to go this time by." Oh, I didn't realize Clint Boyer's out now. Good catch on that, Dale. Slow cars are leaving pit road. 20 laps to go. Somebody... Oh, yeah, I was going to say somebody might hit those slow cars to bring out a caution. That's probably what happened. Turns 1 and 2. Well, it gives us a fighting chance. Speeding penalty costed us a great deal, and now we're back in it from 4th on the restart. Who was it? Ken Schrader, it looked like. Oh! Oh, that was a hard back into the wall, too. All right, so Ken Schrader, David Gilliland, 2-car crash, our 15th caution of the Aaron's 499 at Talladega. "20-lap shootout." It's going to be less than 20 when we go green. Oh, my God, they killed Kenny. Not again. Second time they killed him. All right, from 4th, green flag back in the air. All the lap cars on the inside, and they're all slow cars. This is going to be tough to get down to the bottom. But Casey Kane is going to try it. Bump the back of Matt Kenseth. Might have slowed us down just enough. But can we get to the lead? Still, Casey's got it. Off turns 2. Clear. What a restart. Shot out of a cannon. Now blocking for our life. Vickers peaking high. Gonna block him. Nemechek on the bottom is a lap down, but the cars behind him are not. Oh boy. Here comes Dale Jarrett. Casey leads that lap of the line. 15 laps to go at Talladega. Lapper on the outside, moving up right in front of Casey Kane. Casey bump drafts him in the middle of the corner. A bit dangerous, but really trying to get this outside line moving. Lost a little bit of that help from behind. Getting the pole off of the lap car, Nemechek. And a swing to the bottom, clear on Jarrett. Here comes Jeff Gordon in the mix. Whoa! Split? Are they splitting us? They almost did. Jarrett clipped the apron, getting into the corner. He's clear for the lead off turn 4. Trying to win back-to-back races for the first time this season. Pack of just over 10 cars, it looks like, up here at the front of the field. Dale Jarrett, the 44. Place where he got his final career win in 2005. Right here at Talladega, trying to do it in the 07 season. And a different number. Different number, same team. 44, Robert Yates Racing. In the same colors of that UPS car once again as well. Trying to get a run on him. We're kind of pulling the pack behind us, but I'm not really gaining ground on Jarrett at all. 13 laps to go. Our fastest lap of the race, 44.641. Unbelievable. At Talladega, nonetheless. Speeds are astronomically high. I mean, I'm trailing like 202, 203, 204. 05, 206 entering turn 3. What's this lap going to be? Oh my gosh. 44.337, our fastest lap again. What are these lap times? That's like laps you would be running at Michigan. Probably less than that. Probably more like 38 seconds at Michigan. Those are quicker than Daytona laps. Should be in like the 47s. No wonder we're tandeming away from the rest of the pack. No wonder I can't get any closer to him either. We will catch those slow cars if we stay green to the end of the race, though. All 4 of them. 4 or 5. Kyle Petty just unlapped himself on the restart, too. That's the lone car that's still up ahead of Jarrett and Kane. New track record, yeah, no kidding. In the restrictor plate era, for sure. Doesn't feel like I got the restrictor plate on it right now, but we technically do. 10 laps to go. I don't know how we're going to get a run if we can't get help from behind. It's going to be tough. Kyle Petty holds him up. Lap cars that we're about to catch, I'm starting to lose him. I'm doing my best to try to stay in the draft behind him. Backed up enough, I could maybe get a little bit of a run down the straightaway, but it's not a guarantee. I'm getting a little bit of a pull. But once he's going to get close enough to Kyle Petty, he's probably going to pull away from us a bit. Top 10 streak looks good right now, but trying to go for the race win. Obviously. You always want to win. We're at 9 laps to go. Sterling Marlin in 3rd, Jeff Gordon 4th, Jimmy Johnson 5th. Got 2 Hendrick cars in the top 5. Can they work together and try to fight their way to the front of the field? Trying to use that go slow to go fast maneuver. It hasn't worked for me the whole day. I was trying something a little different there. About 2/3 of the way down the back straightaway, I was trying to lift a little bit. Do the same thing again right there. I'm not losing much time, but I'm not gaining anything either. All right, Kyle Petty, you're going to have to slow him down for me. Maybe they get side by side, that can help. Off turn 4, is Jarrett going to be able to clear? He is not clear. Not yet. Now he's clear. Well, we've got to run. Maybe I can use Kyle Petty to get by him. We'll try. He's running the outside, though. I don't like that. Petty's got to run. Get underneath him, Kyle. Didn't go for it. He went right back to the outside again. Well, this is not good. 6 laps to go. Excuse me. Gonna catch the slow cars one more time. Oh, they're double wide. That's gonna help. Sadler and Stewart are side by side right now. And here comes the rest of the pack. Jeff Gordon leading them. They did not slow Dale Jarrett down enough. There's still a couple more up there. Didn't need to spin. Well, the speeding on pit road didn't end up mattering because we got a caution and got to the lead on the restart. So the speeding penalty was basically nullified. If we had stayed green the rest of the race and I would have finished like 4th where I was running, yeah, it would have costed me. But we had a restart and we got back to the lead after the restart. So where we're at is where we're at. With the pack of cars trying to give us a little bit of help. Can we catch Dale Jarrett, who's got about a 4/10 of a second lead? One more slow car, and that would be Tony Raines in the 96. Pulling down to the bottom. Trying to block Dale Jr., excuse me, Ryan Newman as well. Tony Raines tried to hold him up for us, but didn't hold him up enough. When Pablo Montoya is up to 3rd, got 4 laps to go this time by. Still 4/10 of a second off the lead. Dang, man. I don't think we can get to him. I'm scared to give up a position and not get it back, but I think I'm going to have to try it and hope for something here. We're going to need some help. This might end up costing me a position if I can't get it back. Might get freight train here if Dale Jr. closes that gap quick enough. Go, Juan, go. There we go. I tried to lift and get in line behind him. Here we go. Come on. Oh, I didn't want to cross him over, though. Ready to go this time by. Side by side for 2nd. We don't need this. Can't break free of him. At least I got him back. Yeah, will we make it back without a caution? I think I see Elliott Sadler in 5th now. Our teammate. Gaining a little ground on Jarrett. Not enough. Going wide. Going to let Montoya in there again. Just sliding down in front of Dale Jr. Really trying something here. Montoya going to get a push in the tri-oval from Casey Kane. Oh, big wiggle, but he holds on to it. Here we go. We got to run. Pulling out now. Trying to make the pass for 2nd. Got the 2nd, but man, Dale Jarrett's quick. Casey Kane's got a little bit of a run down the back straightaway. Montoya can just get close enough to us and draft behind us. Can we get the push needed? White flag. Final lap at Talladega for Dale Jarrett. Might be a little late. Try to get Montoya up there. It's just not going to work. I might have really screwed it. Might have cost myself here. Was trying to hopefully get back in line behind him again. Yeah, I screwed myself there. Montoya's getting a run on Jarrett off turn 4, though. He's got to run into the tri-oval. He's going to the inside. That cost myself a position. I waited a little too long there on that final lap to do that. I tried doing it the lap before. We had a run on him, but that's going to be it. Dale Jarrett is going to win at Talladega. And again, I just cannot win back-to-back races on the season. Man, this game's tough. This game is tough. Third place, 39 laps led. Did we lead the most? No, we did not. Who led the most? 50 laps led. Brian Vickers led the most. Led the second most. Vickers finished 12th. Dale Jarrett, first win of the season. Another new winner. And I believe that's going to give us 6 different winners on the year now. And he is now the 3rd former champion to have a win. I'll tell you what, man, if we had, like, the playoff format now, 9 races, 6 different winners. A lot of underdogs, Dale Jarrett being one of which. Dale Jarrett with the victory. I was 1 caution off. I counted 15. Apparently we had 14 yellows, 57 lead changes. Margin of victory between Jarrett and Montoya. How about Juan Pablo Montoya finishing 2nd on an oval? 128.03 mile per hour average race speed. Margin of victory was 97 1/1000ths of a second, just less than 1/10 of a second. 3 hours, 54 minutes, 20 seconds total time on the race. Dale Jarrett in 1st, Juan Pablo Montoya 2nd, Casey Kane 3rd, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 4th, Elliott Sadler 5th. Sadler, obviously one of our teammates. Ryan Newman was 6th, Jimmy Johnson 7th, Jeff Gordon 8th, Michael Waltrip 9th. Robbie Gordon rounds out the top 10. Our other teammate Scott Riggs was 18th, led for 4 laps. And we had 29 cars finish on the lead lap. John Wood DNF, Jamie McMurray DNF, David Stremme had engine issues, Jeff Green, Tony Raines, Bobby Labonte, David Gilwin, Paul Menard, Tony Stewart, Clint Boyer. We had a lot. 10 drivers had engine issues or wrecked out, one or the other, through tonight's race. All in the second half of the race, despite all the cautions that we saw in the first half, which was the vast majority. We had 9 of the 14 cautions in those first 90 laps. All right, well, we keep the top 10 streak alive. A top 5 finish here tonight, 3rd at Talladega. Our next race will be at Richmond, and it will be a 50% race, the final one of the season. Thanks for the $2 super chat there towards the end as well, Inside Uranus. Come on, Dale Jarrett, run faster. God, get that win. Well, he got it. He got it. So the Richmond race is going to be the Richmond 200 lapper, under the lights. Car tomorrow race again. And we'll extend the points lead over Jimmy Johnson, beating him. Both had top 10s, but we had top 5. And both drivers led laps. 391. Yeah, making the chase is going to be a lock for us. Dale Jarrett's 6th in points. What a season. Montoya's 4th. The heck? We haven't even had a road course yet. And he hasn't won. Kenny Schrader's... Can't even hold a straight face. Kenny Schrader's in 12th. He's in the last spot in the chase right now. For the Wood Brothers. In 2007. I don't know, man. This season's been weird. This race was weird. Another weird one in the books. Thanks for everybody tuning in. We did hit our like goal of 25. We're at 27 right now. Thank you again for the $7 in super chats. Inside Uranus as well. Let me like and heart both of those. I didn't give myself a chance to yet. I can't like it, but I can heart it. I don't know why I can't hit the like button on it. And yeah, I hope to see you again this year. Wherever we end up going, race-wise. 44 is Michael Waltrip racing. Oh, I didn't. Okay, well, never mind. It was not. I didn't realize it was a. I just assumed the UPS car, it was a Ford. It was not. MWR gets the win at Talladega. Dale Jarrett, his final career win, obviously, if he doesn't end up winning another race this season. Maybe he will. He's 6th in points, I guess. He's had the speed all year. Appreciate it, everybody. Have a good rest of your night. We'll be back again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll be Truck Series racing the next 2 nights on NASCAR 8. And then we have our live commentary coverage at Atlanta coming up through next weekend. Thank you, and have a good one.